All right, guys, so we're hopping right into it today. We're going to build an AI tag generator with OpenAI and Make.com. We're going to use Google Sheets and hop right in here. We can look at the data. You can see that we have all of our other product data, but we don't have any tags. So what we need to do is we need to access column A through F, feed that into OpenAI through Make.com, and then we're going to generate tags for column G. So let's hop in here. We got a new Make.com scenario already open. What we're going to do first is we're going to get the rows from Google Sheets. And we're going to build all of this live. So you can see kind of the process and then take it into your contextual system and see maybe it's a little bit different, but you can use the themes and kind of the error handling and the troubleshooting that we go through today. So we're going to we're going to get a range of values. That's what we want because we want multiple columns. Spreadsheet ID, it's going to be, actually, it's going to be in shared with me. This one's going to be called Shopify import. And then let's just double check again. We're under the water sports product. You know what? We're also just going to make a duplicate of this because just in case anything happens and we're messing up data here, we want to be ready and have a backup. So we're going to hop in here. Here we're also just going to throw a quick refresh. That should, okay, copy of water sports product is what we want. And like I said, we're going to get from, and we want to get the headers. So first we're going to change this to, yes, we're getting the headers so that we can label them and not just be dealing with columns and rows. So we'll go all the way to F. We'll go A1 to F. And that should grab everything there. And then basically it's going, when you don't specify another number on this side of things, it's going to go till it hits the end. So that's cool there. And then let's just run that once and see what happens. Beautiful. So we can close up all these bundles. We'll see how many we got. Okay, a ridiculous amount. So anything that's getting a bunch of bundles, if it's returning bundles, that's an iterator function because it's basically saying here are all these bundles that any modules after this are going to iterate over. So what we want to do, instead of having it rip 968 OpenAI calls in a row and you hit your rate limit, we actually want to do a sleep function. So we're going to sleep for 60 seconds beforehand, and then we're going to pull in the we're open OpenAI, and we're going to do create a completion. We can just line these up nicely here. Okay, it's feeding in the description. Maybe we'll have it read the description. So we'll hop in here. We're gonna add a few messages. We're gonna do GPT-4. System is going to be, you are a helpful writing assistant. Maybe even throw you can throw some context in here. You're a helpful, intelligent writing assistant tasked with tagging e-commerce products based on product information. That's probably the best way to phrase it. Okay. Now, we also want to do user. Basically, we can feed in here is the product data you will use to generate 10 tags. Now you can say however many tags you want in theory, or if you had a certain way that you want to do it, but we'll just generate 10. So generate 10 tags for um, each e-commerce product. Here's the product data you use to generate 10 tags for this e-commerce product because it's going to be feeding them in one at a time. Okay. These tags should be relevant to the product type. 10 product tags for this e-commerce product website page. These tags should be relevant to the product type, the category, relevant to information that is provided. You will use the product type, and then we'll feed that in. Product type, the product category, the vendor, and the description to contextually generate these tags. Okay. Now you could go in here and say, let's do that. We'll go in here and put an assistant and say, this is an example of the proper results. Let's go wakeboard, hyperlight. Like this is just for a wakeboard, right? Water sports, wake, wakeboarding. This thing I don't even know what else you would do. You could do water sports equipment, right? Depending on how wide your site is, right, and how specific you want to tag. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What else? What else? What else? Okay, cool. And then we're going to come in because basically we're not even going to specify, and let's just see how many it generates. Okay, max tokens we'll put 496, 4096 I mean, so. And then what we'll do is we'll just automatically stop it. So we can see the results come in, and we're going to go like this, actually, unlink. And then we're just going to stop it after the first one anyways. So, cool. Cool. Whoa, it ran a couple times there. Did we put this in wrong? Okay, so something's up here. Now it's let's see. We put this to math. No. Is it pulling this in correctly here? Okay, yeah, it's on the first row of the given range. You know that. On bundle 2, it should be pulling in correctly. Why aren't these pulling in? Low is the product data you will use to generate the product tags for this e-commerce product's website page. These tags should be relevant to the information that is provided. You use the product type, the product category. Okay, and then we're going to add another user here. This is a user, and then the user is going to feed in the just the description. Again, I'm going to kill this here. Run once. Beautiful. Okay, so we've got our tagging script down. Now, it returned null on probably one of the descriptions, right? So it probably submitted one, yeah, bundle 3 and bundle 4. So all these have no descriptions for some reason. Let's double check. Aha, there you go. So that's totally fine. You could then now, because of the way that this is structured, it's structured for Shopify. So only one product level row is going to have the description in it. So you're basically going to be wasting a bunch of stuff. So you could say a filter here where this exists, then pass it through. So then we run that again. Now it should only run, it's going to skip the ones that aren't good. But now let's stop it and let's see which one is beautiful. Okay, cool. We've got a bunch carry bag included. Okay, nice. See, now this is stuff that you wouldn't have even thought of, right? So it's also pulling out nice data here, dimensions. So you can sort by dimension at that point. This is huge. So now what we'll do is let's customize it a bit more because in order to put this into Shopify, we need it separated by commas. So you will return the tags in a CSV format because, I mean, that's really it, right? It's really just a comma separated value. This is an example of the proper results formatted results. Do not use any other characters, just plain CSV like this. Cool. And now what's nice is that we didn't specify 10, so it's just going to generate a bunch more. I wasn't sure like how much it would actually generate. Cool. Other thing is that we're not hitting our rate limit based on tokens. So we're not cleaning big descriptions like we've done in the past. So we might not even need this sleep. Let's run this one more time here. And we can just stop it there just to get a couple in. Cool. Number 1 didn't work. Beautiful. Okay, so the number 1 was probably just pulling some wrong data. Look at this. Now we've got everything returned exactly what like we need it. And final step here. Now we're going to come back in because we want to be able to upload this right to Shopify. Now we want to update a value. We may need to get the cell first, right? Just by searching it. We're going to find the same spreadsheet. Sheet names, copy of workforce products. Cell is going to be of the column that we want to get. The column that we want to get is G, right? Because it's right after type. That's what we want. It's going to be G and then the row number. Beautiful. Okay. And then the value is going to be the result. Here it's saying, okay, please provide. Now, what's going to happen is it's probably going to overwrite the headers. I don't know what's going on with the headers. Maybe something's up, but let's just try this right here. So it'll run, it'll clear it. Beautiful. And let's check it out right here. I mean, that is awesome. Sick. Okay. So here's where we run into some other issues. Now, what we'll do is probably go back in and throw some training at it because a lot of the times this will happen with JSON as well. OpenAI will output their results with 3 quotes on top, 3 quotes on bottom. Now, this can cause some problems. If you tried to go import this into Shopify, it would not work. See, it's also throwing a CSV and some different quotations in there each time. Let's go ahead. We'll come back in here and stop this. And now let's go in here and modify this. So below is the product data you use to generate the product hash. You will return in the CSV format. Do not use any other unnecessary characters and or use CSV or at the beginning or end. This is important because the next step will not allow any extra characters in your result. So make it basically know that whatever it's doing, the next thing is going to rely on it. So let me just save this again. Cool. It was updating the wrong, oh no, this is the correct row. But like I said, it messed up that one. So coming in here, it's got 6 of them down. It's coming through. What we want to see is if it's going to basically come over this one and not put a CSV, which I think it is. Awesome. All right, cool. So this is going to save us a ton of time. Now I no longer have to go in here and personally tag all these products. That's it for today's video, guys. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out in the comments below. Look forward to the next one. Thanks.